G'day guys, ahead of International Men's Day, we have Julian Pace on the show this week from Happiness Co. Some of the things we talk about today are heavy in nature, but that is the point. We're trying to use our platform this week to talk about some topics, especially for men, that are difficult to talk about. In the end, that's what we do here at BackChat. We talk about things, and this week it's a little bit heavier than usual. So if you do need additional resources, please look in the show notes, either as a podcast or on YouTube. But I'd implore you to listen to this one. It is a deep and meaningful chat between me and Jules about a range of topics close to my heart. Thank you.
Now, knowing what you do now and knowing where your life's at now, I was wanting to ask and thinking, do sometimes you feel, not that you're like another person, but like, you know, the conversations that we have and hey, go and talk to someone, or, you know, just get on your chest or be vulnerable, or whatever you're talking about doing. Does it sometimes, you know, do you find it easy or hard to think, hey, when I was in a bad spot, if someone had been sitting chatting on a podcast like this, you would have been like, just shut, like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, is it difficult for you now, knowing that you're in a better space right now than where you were? Is it difficult to kind of put yourself into either, or where are you at with that?
It's hard to, great question. I think you could probably reflect on your own life as well. Like, you're only willing to hear what you want to hear at certain times in your life, aren't you? And sometimes there's a moment of impact that allows you to hear things differently, which probably was my mum. I don't know if I was 23 or 24 and if people would have told me about the stuff that we talk about now would have helped or not.
Yeah, correct, right? That's what I mean.
Like,
what you're doing now, like, would that have helped Julian Pace?
Yeah. Because I did try some things that, and I think why Happiness Co has been quite successful because it does a lot of things differently. But traditionally, if you think about the traditional means of support, I did try. And I did go to therapy. And I remember it like it was yesterday and how bad it was, because I was having my first conversation with my therapist, and I told him what happened, and I told him me and my dad had a fight, and I was pretty vulnerable about it. And I said, I've been using drugs and alcohol. My life is all over the show, and I don't know how to fix it. And he just opened his top drawer and he wrote me a script for antidepressants. And I will always reflect on that moment. You know, I didn't have depression. I had a broken heart. And they are very different, man.
Yeah.
How you heal a broken heart is very different to how you manage clinical depression. One was forced by an experience that I went through that I could not find a way in my life to reconcile. And depression comes in many different shapes and sizes. So I did try some things, but I gave up on them too. I wanted to be better and I wanted to be happier. But you know what? $150 an hour for a therapist, or $150 on drugs and alcohol. And $150 on drugs and alcohol made the pain go away. Just for a while. You know, just for an hour, just for two. And that's why I can understand the power of drinking as escapism, or drugs as escapism. Because escapism allows you to not think about it for a while. Football for escapism.
Yeah.
Because lots of people could tell you they do things that make them feel good and they justify they're really good for them. Like sport or going to the gym. Like did you ever use the gym as like blowing off steam?
Oh, I hated the gym.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
But the footy field, like training and running and like the physicality.
Yeah,
the gym's just about, you know, I never want to step foot in the gym.
Yeah. But you understand the distraction of something.
Yeah, that's what footy at times in my life's been, a complete distraction.
Yeah, just running laps or.
Well, that's why, like, I reflect on my career, and like, I had consistent effort. I didn't always have consistent performance, and I think it was based around mentality and things going on. Sometimes, for me anyway, like dealing with stuff, I didn't deal with it well. Similar to you, mate. Like I turned to the drink, especially 2018. I was speaking about that at length, but when Andy died suddenly, like I just got on the piss.
Yeah, that was your coping mechanism, right?
Yeah, I always gave footy away. And we won a flag at the end of that year, won a premiership. But halfway through the year, I was not come back to Perth to play footy.
Yeah. But that's that comment I mentioned before about you're really good at what you do and probably weren't acting in the best version of yourself in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Like you just won a premiership and you're feeling good. Everyone's like, you're a legend. You get a premiership medallion and you lose one of your best mates.
No, it was before that.
Was it before that?
Yeah, before that. So I was going to give it up before we won the flag.
Yeah, gotcha.
But you know, that it's sort of the same chat in a way.
And I guess the difference is that what fulfills you? And I think fulfillment's a pretty big question when you're trying to rebuild yourself. And when the question you asked you before about rebuilding yourself, I think that is something that's quite powerful, like rebuilding a new avatar.
Yeah.
Like I look back at myself at 21 and 22 and why I recognize some parts of me still now. Like I don't ever want to forget how I felt about my dad. Because people often ask me, how'd you heal your broken heart then? Like how'd you go from rock bottom to suicidal and, pushing everyone away who ever loved you to feeling hopeless and despair, all the shame that you mentioned, and then like doing what you do now. And I say, well, I never healed my broken heart. I still have one. But can you have a broken heart and still be brave? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you have a broken heart and fall in love, chase your dreams, have some kids, be a good person? I just think they're not binary. And I think people feel like you have to feel really good to be good. Sometimes it's not that simple. It's not that easy. You can still remember some things that hurt you along the way and use them as actually great drivers to be a better version of yourself, which is that self-correction thing I mentioned.
Yes.
I was just picking self-punishment because pain is real and suffering's a choice. Like, think about it for your own life for a second. Your best mate dying, that heartbreak is real.
Yes.
Your dad dying, that heartbreak is real. So it's the difference between trauma and something traumatic. So every single person that you know in your life goes through traumatic experiences.
Yes.
Being bullied at work, not getting picked from the football team, not getting that promotion, not having as much money in your bank account than your mates. That stuff can be traumatic. But trauma is what you hold on to. It's the stuff that you hold on to and you're still thinking about years later. Can't open up to you, I can't trust you. People don't like me, I'm not smart enough on it. That's the stuff that we actually hold on to as people.
Yeah.
That was just a little teaser of our full episode. They're out Wednesdays on YouTube, and you can listen to them wherever you get your podcast. Go on, get out of here.